Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be reviewing Koda Kumi's new album, DNA. Before we get started, I want to remind you that this is simply my opinion on the album, and if you enjoy this review, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more. 6 months after End, Koda Kumi is back with part 2 of this new project, and this time it's all about our musical DNA. And we also get 3 songs more than on End, with an overall count of 13 songs, with Hush being the one song released last year, so there's still 12 songs to get through. My biggest issue with End was that the album lacked its own personality and didn't manage to quite get to me. However, I'm happy to report that DNA rectifies that, and as an album, it really feels like it has its own DNA indeed. And when it comes to the album, this time we also get back to the good old formula of a Koda Kumi album with an intro, which is functional on this album but definitely not one to remember compared to others in her discography. But either way, I really enjoyed this album and I enjoyed it a little bit more than End. It definitely has more songs that are quite addictive to me, like Dangerous, Pin Drop, Hot Hot, Work That, Scream, and even Hush grew quite a lot on me as part of this album, and all of these songs are really standouts on my head. This album also follows its concept and theme quite well, and it really represents Kumi's music really well. You get the R&B, the hip-hop, the super typical J-pop ballads, the electronic songs, and even a rock song, and I think it really shows how diverse Kumi's music can be and has been, and it's done overall here really well. Now let's talk about the things that bothered me. First off, I felt like there is a weird flow to this album, and the tracklist leaves a lot to be desired. For example, the ballad Ainaku Naru Kurai Nara arrives halfway through the album and it just breaks its flow, just like Never Enough on End. And once again, it didn't work with me because I found this ballad to be really bland and unnecessary. And the other one, Kokoro Kara I Love You, is more than enough on this album when it comes to the ballads. Speaking of which, I found this ballad to be really nice. It definitely carries this is a ballad for a drama vibe to it, and I don't know if it is actually used for a drama, I don't recall seeing anything about that. But it really goes through all the tropes, and I still ended up liking it a lot because it felt like really genuine in its approach, and in the end it's a good representation of a lovely J-pop ballad, although it does drag a bit towards the end because the song is over 5 minutes, but I still really enjoyed it. There are songs that I enjoy without being overly excited about them. Chance Is All and Guess Who Is Back are good examples of that. Both songs are functional and enjoyable in their own way, and I had a good time listening to them, but compared to the rest of the album, they did feel less interesting to me. And another issue that I have with the flow from this album is also because the 2 songs that end the album, Work That and Pin Drop, are absolutely excellent, and yet having them at the end of the album feels weird to me. Like after Pin Drop especially, you expect still a song to come right after, and I feel like maybe if Work That was put at the end instead, it would have illustrated this feeling of closure a little bit better, and instead Pin Drops it left me wanting more. DNA in the End is a pretty good album and feels more memorable to me than End. I had a lot of fun with it, even with the tiny issues like the flow and some songs that didn't click with me, or not as much as I would have liked. Like for example, Watch Out DNA is really not my thing. I didn't like it at all, and it's the only song that I think I'm gonna skip every time because it's very repetitive and just not that great, you know, it's not very diverse in its structure and just not something I like personally. But outside of that, there are plenty of songs on this album that are really great, and I think this one spins its concept quite well, and that's why I give it 4 stars. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to tell me what you think of DNA in the comment section down below, and I'll see you next time.